Yo, what up, my people? It's your boy Bobby J in the building. Right here with me, we have.
Ibukun.
Over there, we have.
General.
And right beside me, we have.
Christiana.
Yeah. We're live on ZeroCapping. ZeroCapping soon. We just say the facts, we say the real shit, what people go through, what we face, the reality without capping, you know. So right here, we're just gonna be discussing some stuff about bills and billing. Technically, what I mean by bills are, our responsibilities. The important bills we pay, the ones we can't avoid. Like we just have to do it. You know what I'm saying? And also, we also gonna be sharing some lights on what kind of billings come from back home. Yeah. So today I have right here with me, as I said, Ibukun. Ibukun, can you tell us, when do you move to Canada?
I moved to Canada 2014 in June. And yeah, I've been here for going 9 years now.
No cap, man. You're Canadian already, bro. Ain't it?
That's part of the billing this country has given me. I'm not yet a Canadian.
Nice. So when you came to this country, what was the purpose,
Yeah, I would say I came through student permit, so I was a student. And my experience, it was more of culture shock. But what kind of helped was I had siblings. So I had a sibling here. That was my other sister. But to be honest, I spent 6 years in school, man. So the billing server, they try to collect them back from Canadian government.
No cap, man.
So it was not the best experience, but we're here to talk about it today.
So. No cap, man. Yeah, I think I think the bills are in two kind of ways, For me, coming to Canada, I also came at a very young age. When I came to Canada, I have a cousin I used to live with. So basically, I don't pay any bills, All I have to do is just to go to school, But
good for you.
Yeah, I know, right? Me, I'm an hustler, I just want to work. I want to make my own money,
Yeah.
My dad sponsored me, on a short run. And the thing is, as I said, I'm a hustler. I want to make my own money. So basically, back then, all the money I was making, it was just for myself, I was saving it, no bills and all of that. But as time goes on, after school, things change. Then you face the reality of life. So as I said, these bills are in two parts. We have some people that came down here as a student. They have a sponsor. And we have some people that they just came here as a form of jackpotting, It's not like they actually have anyone. They just want to leave that country, you know what I'm saying? So that is another story, But basically what I'm trying to say today is I know other people have experienced that they just came here as a student, and they still have to cater for themselves. Do we have anyone in the building that their story is like that?
Oh yeah.
Oh. Share light to us, man. How do you survive? How do you cope with the bills, the school fee, the house rent, and all of that?
I mean,
school.
It was hectic, but you just gotta do what you gotta do at the end of the day. I also came 2014 December, and the plan was to go to school. I was going for a nursing program, 4-year nursing program. But along the line, finances, just set back a bit. And I had to just pause for a second, because most times when we come into problems like that, obstacles that we don't expect, we tend to try running around and figure out, okay, what to do. Most of the time we end up, getting into more distress, kind of. If you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, so I just looked at the whole situation and let me go do something else that would also bring me money while I, figure out myself, go back to school and find my way to where I actually want to be. So I ended up doing the nursing program, but the 2-year version of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
I feel like a lot of people do that. They just switch from 4 years to 2 years, because at the long run, trust me, if you don't have someone catering for you or sponsoring you through schooling in this country, I think it's close to impossible. But I don't want to say it's impossible because we have a lot of people that survive through others. For example, coming to school year without you having any experience, any professional experience or anything. Of course, you have to do the minimum job. You know what I mean? Like, do you have to go through that as well? Like, doing the minimal job just to get some money to save up?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
So basically, we're all students here. Like we all came in through studies, and at a point in time, we all hustled. Like did some, and as a student, they're just going to tell you have just is it 40 hours
20
a week?
hours per week.
20 hours per week. Yeah, I was going there,
Yeah,
like
I never followed that rule.
You're lucky. You're lucky.
You the lucky one.
I was working 60 hours. But
You
now
the lucky one.
This is the funny part. When I was moving from student permit to work permit, I had to go to the border to do it. Because if I did online,
they would have caught you.
They would just read my profile
Yeah.
and be like, this guy never
They've
listened.
deported people for like that too. Like,
Yeah.
You're
Yeah,
just
because,
lucky that
yeah.
your school didn't.
Very lucky.
They didn't
Yeah.
report you.
Oh, sorry.
Otherwise,
Like,
even
what
if
do you
you
mean
go
by
to
you
the
were doing
border-
more than 20 hours? Like, on the books or like maybe some outside?
No, there's no way I can survive 20 hours. When
Is
you
he
work,
under the table
It's like
or-
10, it was not even under the table. It was actually like
Wow.
I was working in the field of mental health. So I was working as a
So
youth
you're
and
lucky.
family counselor. Yeah, I was lucky to be honest because I was
Yeah.
always waiting for them to come and find me.
you know
But
you,
they
you
never
know
did.
like basically today what I'm trying to do is I just want to I want people to share their experience, how they survive through all this thing, what kind of work they do, because like a lot of people out there, especially people planning on coming to this country, I believe a lot of people are also trying to come as a student and all, but like they don't know the actual thing they are coming to face. They just think, oh, I'll go to Canada, when I get there everything is gonna be good. I see JB online. This guy is flying, he's driving these, he's using this, but like everything is on debt. You know what I'm saying? I'm not that kind of debt guy. I don't take all these finances and share. But like a lot of us do. But like what people from back home see is that they just see this person living a good life. He lives in Canada, he goes to school, he's living good life, he drives a good car, like he dressed good. But like, what's the story behind all this thing?
Is the picture you portray. So
That's
the basic
what
thing.
I'm saying. But
So
like,
if you tell them or if you make them to believe that there's a lot of money here, you're flying, you're balling, then they'll believe that's the life you're living. But deep down in your pocket,
you know what you're
it
going
hurts.
through.
Actually, yeah. To be honest, I do believe that like coming here as an immigrant, because that's what you are. You're a piece of paper. Student permit, work permit, PR is better than those other two I mentioned, right? Once you come, if you notice, I read a fact. 2018, immigration accounted for was in the fourth contributor to the economy, which means as an immigrant, we're paying either as much as Canadians already or even more. School fees is times 3.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
And you still have
absolutely.
to-
That's
and,
correct.
and we're not individuals too, right? Because
Yeah.
we're uprooted from our family, so it's like we're paying the same thing, rent, all of that. We're also doing things that we shouldn't do because most of us actually live in comfort.
right.
We're very comfortable where we're coming from. We're not rich.
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
comfortable.
absolutely.
So yeah, coming here, I've just realized that like they used us to actually boost the economy because that's what it is. That's really what it is. And my experience, I'll speak on it really short. It was kind of not too nice because I left my country when I was 17, turning 18. So I came at a very young age, right? And I came as book smart. But I feel like this country dulled my creativity because I always love melanin. I love sun. So
you
the
didn't
change
get
in
enough
weather-
sun.
You ain't got enough sun in Canada.
the change of weather here in this country, I feel like it's still like shock to me every single time. It's winter, summer, spring, fall, right? So anyways, when I came here, the good thing was I had a sister here that was working hard.
Yeah.
She really tried. And I'll tell you this, it's crazy. You hear things that you never knew. My sister failed school just to bring us here.
Wow.
Yeah, because she felt like it wasn't about her anymore. It was about the future every individual has. And now, as she had 3 other siblings, we're all out of Nigeria.
You know what? Not to cut you short.
Yeah.
I think that is something like, for me too, at some point when I first came to Canada, everything was different, like you have this mentality like, oh my God, I want to go back. You're bored, you are crying every night to yourself.
I didn't
But,
cry.
at the long run, I feel like, for me, I make that decision that it's not more about me. It's about my family. It's about my siblings. Like, it's about my kids, you know. So let me just go through the struggle for them, because obviously we know there's a lot of benefit. Like the Canadians, as you said, we pay times 3 of school fees. They just pay like quarter.
Yeah.
You know? So like I feel like, okay, let me just go through all this struggle for them. Yeah, you can go on with your...
No, 100%, man. Like, you're right. Like, and me, I feel like it's crazy because even when you also go to school, you hear other people's story, and you even feel helpless because you feel like you're having it bad.
Yeah,
You're
and
probably
then
having
you
it
hear other
worse.
people.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
At that point, you're almost hiding your face like this because you feel like you cannot even share good news.
You know?
Right? And to be honest, like, school, like I said, for me, genuinely, I loved going to school here, but I went to school for 6 years.
Right.
It's too much. Even 4 years is too much.
So to me, basically, I think if it's all about your mindset.
100%.
Because when I came in here at first, the way the lecturers, or they call them instructors here, the way they make you feel, they'll make you feel like you don't know nothing. Even when you try to sell an idea or try to tell them, oh, this is what I did before, this is what I did, because my own program is not just like you have to be a graduate. So it's just like the postgraduate studies. So all what you did back home or your previous, your graduate studies counts. So they use it to assess you before you get into the program. You get it? But at first there are some lecturers, they want to make you think or believe that you don't just know it just because you're an immigrant. Because I had one experience when usually we'll do, what's it called? After the exam, we'll bring the scripts, we'll share the scripts, and he will do the revision, like go through the whole questions. If you think or you feel like you were not properly marked or you were underscored, then you voice it out. Could you believe when I told this guy, I said, if we have 2 different ways of solving this problem, and you say, okay, you have to use this and this, but whichever way you must get one right. So the guy he didn't even look at it, just said nope. Then I sat down, he went back to the blackboard and was writing. Then the next thing said, yo, give me 1 minute, can I see the script? That was when he started feeling bad. And he came back and he almost robbed me of 5 marks.
Wow.
You get it?
Yeah.
So it's the mindset. When you are in such situation, all what you need to do is just to like tell yourself, I can do it even way better.
Yeah, I
You're not
feel
wrong.
like, you know, like I feel you like like I have a lot of things to say about that, but like not just to slide away from the topic, you know. We are out here today discussing about bills and building. So basically, like, what I want us to share light on is how we survive through school. What do I mean how we survive? Like, what do you do to survive? As I said, we have some people that sponsor some people.
Right.
School fees is not your problem. But we have some people that they do everything themselves. What I'm saying, everything themselves, is you have a sister, you are living with your sister.
Yeah.
Like, we all from Nigeria, our culture, I believe, is not like you're paying rent or anything. Am I right?
Yeah, you're right.
You know, so like we have some people that came here like on a solo. They came on their own. They don't have a brother, a family, or anyone. You know, these people still have to survive as well.
Right.
What I mean survive is they have to pay school fee, they have to pay house rent, phone bills, all these bills. What do they like? How do they survive? How do they make all this meet? And they still have to go to school and pay school fee. And as you said, when you come to this country, forget about whatever kind of experience you think you have from back home or anything. You're a project manager or whatever. In as much you don't have their Canadian certificate, it's close to nothing. Like back then, I believe it's close to nothing. I believe things are changing a little bit now because they need a lot of people in all these jobs, you know. But like right now, I believe for me, when I first came, like there's no hiding or anything. We all do all the minimal jobs, you know.
Yeah.
Like it's the minimum wage back then was like 12 something, you know.
$10 or
You know,
That
like,
was even high. I was even earning $10.75 at
you
some
see
point.
some province, like what province is that?
what province?
It was here.
Oh no shit.
Yeah, I earned $10.75, and then it went to $11.60, $11.20, $12.60, and then $13. I didn't even earn $13 because then I was in school.
Okay,
So, but then
you know,
that
so
was,
like
you know,
as
that was where it went
as
to.
I'm saying, you know, like we all do the minimal jobs, right? So let's put a cap on it. Let's say we are making $13 an hour, right? So tell me, how are you going to survive on your own without any sponsor or anyone feeding you accommodation or something? How are you going to survive on a $20 20 hours per week on a $13 base salary? That's not even up to $1,000.
It's not realistic.
You can't do it.
You can't.
No.
But okay, a lot of us went through this thing, and we are here today. You know what I mean.
We did,
so
but
that is the story I want to hear, because a lot of people out there think it's just like rose and flower as soon as you get to Canada.
No,
But
I feel like no matter how you're a loner, right? I would call it you're a loner, like you're doing things. Like for me, when I came, I didn't have anybody here, like no brother, no sister. But I did my research. Like I picked the school I wanted to go to, right? I applied to the school myself. I started doing the whole visa stuff. So I researched. I knew there was winter, there was all those stuff going on. But then I didn't expect that finances is gonna drop. I still know that I have to go to work, I have to look for a job, because even if my parents are gonna be sponsoring my tuition, I'm still going to have to feed myself. I'm not going to depend on them on I need to buy clothes, I need to buy this,
of course,
I need to find a way to make sure I lift that burden off of them. But at some point, even that was not possible. I had to depend on my mom to I need money for this, because I had a hard time getting a job in Winnipeg. It was my first time. I was in a new country. I didn't have the experience. I didn't have the connection. I didn't know the people to ask, what kind of job, McDonald's or whatever.
And I know
but there are people that were doing
job.
that. Yeah, I stayed in Winnipeg for a year. I didn't get a job. Then I moved to Calgary. I'm like, maybe there might be an opportunity in Calgary. And I had a friend, so I told her, can I stay with you for a few months while settle down, learn the environment? And she accepted, right? So I was staying with her, and then still looking for a job. And then I was pushing my mom, how are we going to get money? I have to go to school. And in 2 years, my study permit was expiring. I'm I have to go to school. Damn. I can't just sit at home and wait for it to expire. And she's like, what do you want to do? What are we going to do? I said, I will do the 2-year program. I started researching schools. I checked everywhere, Ontario, BC, for the cheapest of the cheapest that I could.
The cheapest thing in town right now is close to $2,000 per course.
Yes.
Right now.
My school, my program right now, as at the time when I got in, it was I think 11,000 per year. That was the cheapest at the time, and that was in Lethbridge.
Is it that they do it per year or per course?
Per semester, they do it per
semester.
term, yeah,
right now it's 20,900 and something.
So,
even the leverage.
My course right now is almost 17,000 for the first year, and then the second year is always expensive. So I told my mom, I'm this is the cheapest I found. I don't care how you people want to do it. Find a way to bring the money. I will find a way to take care of myself. To study and
that's
also
always
take care
the
of
case
myself,
at some point. Even
So,
for the people that have sponsor,
yeah,
it's all good to the stage that mom, can you pay half, or dad, can you pay half?
yeah.
Forget about the textbook and the living. I'll try to sort that.
So that
And to make matters worse too, when they notice you're working, they step back a little bit,
No,
because they're
I told my
you can pay your rent
Ask you
now.
to start saying
I told my mom, I said
that's when the billing starts.
I told my mom, I said
Serious
don't
for
We're not
worry.
even there yet about the billing stuff. Trust me, at that moment that you are hustling and bubbling to find your school fees, there's still one person that is back home that will be telling you that, can you buy me a phone? Can you buy me a laptop? Can you buy me this? And talking about what you said about it's the picture you portray or not, that's true.
Yeah.
Because believe me and trust me, there are some people the way they drip and everything, fine, they might be working and having the money, but when a friends just hit them up, hey buddy, I need 20K, I need 30K, you'd be like, damn, I've been dripping on social media, I drive this car.
That's the problem.
That's why they think
If I
you
tell
have
him
it.
I don't know have it, he's going to be like,
Feel like
oh,
you're
I'm not going to
stingy.
ball out.
Actually, I was not
You
even
can't take a loan from him though.
That's me too, bro. like for like 4 years, I wasn't posting shit, man.
Nothing,
but even at that, the billings were coming. But like I know it's minimal. You know what I'm saying?
I was not posting anything.
You know,
I won't lie to you. I don't think I posted as much, but at the end of the day, you have to live your best life.
I know,
and not
right?
feel bad about
you
it.
know, trust
You
me,
have to be
right
honest.
now, like, you know, right now the thing is,
What do you mean by live your best life? Is it by posting or
it means
like stuff you don't have on Facebook just to like
Well,
make people
technically,
think
I
you
have the
something?
car. I've only paid 10% of it.
No, that's when you were in school, right?
Yeah, when you were in school.
You go to this place, you post, you go here. You
Okay, in that instance, what if I have a rich friend? So I'm in the
That's
same,
what I'm
I'm in the
saying.
same
You have
setting
a-
as a
you
rich
have a
friend.
rich friend,
You know?
but the friend is not going to give you his money to say, okay, take and send to people back home.
Yeah, but the problem is
Now
people
you
think I
living
have
with a
it.
friend, you flying, and the people back home, they see you on social media, they say, oh, this guy is balling.
okay,
No, join me.
no, Abike, let me back you up on this.
Mhm.
When you talk about living your best life, Jenna, if I make my money and I choose the way I want to live is a flashy lifestyle, I want to be posting and all of that shit. Jenna, it's my fucking money. Let me do
Okay,
hold
let
on,
me
hold on,
jump
hold on,
in. Let me jump
Let me
in.
do what I want to
See,
do. Why put pressure on me, on my money?
You just
When I arrived, for my first day I did not work. My sister was a boy at either, but it was like $20 a week, bro. That's how I survived this school. $20. I only buy my favorite food, $9.75 once a week.
What's that food?
Yoruba is Chinese, Vietnamese special fried rice. $9.75.
Bro, mine was
in
a
school,
tie
right?
out.
Your star was in
She was in school too,
that
yeah.
bridge.
Yeah.
So you were living with you were staying with your sister.
At the beginning, I didn't pay rent, but obviously at the end of the day, I had
That's
to
what I'm
start.
saying. For you to live on
Okay.
that $20
To make
you're
matters
talking
worse,
about,
yeah.
it means you're staying with someone. At least when you get home,
Okay.
Yeah.
you still get food to eat.
Okay,
And
okay,
you don't have to
but
worry
where
about
I was living,
Yeah.
even I could not post it. I was living inside the den in the house.
It doesn't matter.
No window. No window.
So now you
Don't
see
sound
what I'm
like
You know
saying.
what you need to do.
You see what I'm saying?
And you're still living
But
in Canada.
If you were living with a rich friend,
Uh-huh.
wouldn't you be posting?
I mean, my life has
Look at
gotten
someone that
better.
is living on $20.
My life
a
has
week,
gotten better,
right?
bro.
$20 a week.
Uh-huh.
But if you're living with a rich friend, you know, nice apartment and
Yeah,
everything,
now, in that moment,
you'll
I'm
be
enjoying
posting.
myself.
And what picture are you going to be sending back home?
That's the
To
thing.
But at the end
That's
of
the
the
thing.
day,
It's not
I feel
for them.
like people
It's for
back
me.
home are still entitled, like regardless.
That's really what it
There
is.
is that
You owe
entitled,
them.
man. Yeah, you owe them something. Recently, my uncle was like, "Oh, his son should live with my sister because they helped me come to Canada," and I'm like, in which part of, like, you've not called me? I've been here for almost 9 years.
That's
You've
right.
not called me,
It
say,
happened.
how was your flight when you got to Canada? Because you accommodated me
How
that
are you still
night.
alive?
Like, how do you eat? How do you feed? No question. Just because I stayed in their house for, like, you know, the week I was going to travel, they feel entitled that,
Wow.
oh, I'm now done school. I should be, you know, giving them their cuts. I don't even give my mom cut self. So I
know-
don't understand. My mother, you know, stressed. My mother took loans so that I could finish school, right? I pushed. I said, you know what, we have to do this. Don't worry, I'll get a job. We'll pay the loan back, whatever.
I know.
But figure that part out. Let me go to school. Then I'll figure myself out. So I was working at Sunglass Hut. I got a part-time job, working at 20 hours a week, even less than that because nursing program.
Sorry, not to cut
won't
you
let
short.
you-
Like working 20 hours per week.
Mm-hmm.
Like how much do you make? Like let's say, I know they pay every bi-weekly.
Mm.
Like how much do you make in a year? Oh, sorry, in a month.
In a month, so if I work 20 hours, then when I was in school, I was probably making about maybe 480 every 2 weeks.
Okay,
So that's like about 900
100
a month.
something. You know, that's
Yeah.
that's what I thought.
That's not too bad.
Yeah.
That's
That's
That
not too
means-
bad because
That was because now the minimum wage went up to 15
Mhm.
something, right?
Mhm.
That was why.
Oh, like
But if it was like when I was making $10.75, if I would even worked full time at some point, I was still making maybe $700 every 2 weeks.
Oh,
So
I
the
think-
money went up a bit, right?
when I was in school, then I was making, was it $13 or thereabout an hour? But I was working weekends, and it was so hard
wow.
because I took the maximum course units for that semester. So at the point, they said, no, you've like this is the maximum you can
You can
take.
take. I know.
So I was going to school like Monday to Friday, sometimes 3 courses a day, 3 classes a day, sometimes 4. I was like, damn. Then over the weekend, I'm supposed to do my assignments and stuff. I will be hustling. By the time I get home,
You're tired.
my body
You'll be
is like,
studying and you fell asleep.
And then
That's the
what
point.
to you failing most of the
You know, and then at the end of the
you're not
day,
focused, right?
you know, at the end of the day, you pay $1,500 and you are out there trying to make like $400, and you're going to fail to let that 1,500.
Yo.
What?
But then you do what you have to do. And you
I tell you what, that semester was the worst semester I've ever had. In my whole life. I almost failed the course. I was like, no,
I'm
I
not
can't
failing.
fail. So I
It's not an option
struggled.
at
I
some point,
struggled
you know?
that semester. After that semester, then I told my sister, I was like, this weekend course is a job I do that is not really helping matters. So during a summer holiday, we started hustling. I think there was a time we
Yeah,
had the
that's me
flood,
too, man.
the carbon flood and
I'm on
shit.
3 jobs.
So I was working. That was when I started racking money. Then the money wasn't complete, but I told myself, I said, no, this time I asked my sister to send me some money. She gave me some money, added to my school fees. I knew I had some monies already saved for my house rent, and that's how I managed. And believe me, that's the sick because I was supposed to do 4 semesters, right? But I took everything in 3 semesters. So believe me, from the second semester to when I graduated, I didn't get nothing less than A minus all through, because basically what I did, I put in all my energy instead of hustling,
And
you know,
I know.
and going and schooling at the same
There's
time.
always a difference.
That's why it's like
There's always
really,
You
difference.
can eat your cake and have
impossible
it.
to say, oh, you're working to save up for, let's say your tuition is 7,000 per semester. You're working to save up 7,000 per semester. What about your rent? What about your
But
food?
exactly.
It's
You don't even
because
put in
it's
for
not
everything
possible.
is responsibility.
Yeah,
So
you
hard.
have to like prioritize.
You know,
like,
you know
it's not-
exactly.
it's not
That,
easy.
that's why I asked you guys, like, can you share the story of how you went through school? Because at the end of the day, what we're making is not even enough for ourselves.
$20.
You know?
20
20
hours.
hours.
Then, like, someone now messaging, and when I meet someone, most of the time, I don't know about you guys, sometimes it's not even people that you owe anything, man. People that are nothing, they will ask you for shit. And even if it's someone in particular, that's fine. But like when I meet people, I mean a lot of people, Billings from here. At the end of the day, you
Only
be
my
like,
family members has my phone.
Leave them already.
So
Make I shock you.
Leave them
Could you
already.
believe? Listen, oh, could you believe someone messaged me on Facebook? Is a friend of mine. We used to live in the same apartment building. That was back home, and the guy messaged me that he wants to buy a land. That I should borrow him money, like half of the money to buy a land. I was like, yo, are you crazy?
Who was your
are
return
you
investment?
fucking kidding me?
Who was your
to
return?
buy land,
So-
you don't even have money
Oh,
to it.
me, so I don't know what to do with money.
Go to
I don't
the
know where to buy land. I just looked at him, I said, you know what? Whenever I see his messages, I just ignore and pretend as if he doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a friend like that too. He was like, oh, you're supposed to be sending me recharge card like 10K. I'm like, what have you contributed to
In my life?
In my life?
I know
I just
what?
wrote that message and then I just blocked him. Like,
I think
you know,
what also makes it worse is like where we are coming from. Unfortunately, there's no standard. There's no sense of like respect and duty. Like this is how you should respect one another, right? To us, we feel like once you're out of the country, the money is flowing.
That's what I'm
they
saying.
feel
And it's
like
actually
you're bringing the money from the ground.
It's not even about the respect.
the worst part
It's
is
not
when you
about
go
respect.
back home.
It's their mentality.
It's just the mentality.
And that's what I'm saying. It's unfortunate because the way that country is developed, there is no sense of like standard.
You know,
Right? There's no
yeah.
sense of like this is what's right, this is what's wrong. That country is anything goes.
You know what?
Unfortunately.
You know what? To talk about that one, what you just said, no standard and stuff. I believe in Nigeria today, one of the most reason Nigeria is like that today is that there's no law and order. There's no repercussion for your action. You just do things.
What action?
Because, for example, talking about law and order standards and shit, you can never see a brother and a sister that are Canadian that will be like, hey bro, can you give me $20? Or even their parents, they can't ask their parents for shit, especially when they are 18.
Once
They own
you
their shit.
once you're up to 18,
You know,
Your
so
birthday
no
gift
one,
is to leave the house.
you know, no one is expecting anything from
Independence,
anyone.
yeah, once
You know, you're
you're
independent.
perfected.
You know, because when you work for yourself, you make your money. It's your money, man. Do whatever you like with it.
Yeah.
It's not like your junior sister will be like, "Oh, bro, can you?" What the fuck?
And to be honest,
You
they
know?
only help when it's like emergency, like okay,
Exactly.
pandemic is happening.
Yeah.
I want
You know?
to move back into the house. Then
Exactly.
they're like, okay, we know you
It's
suffered a little
understandable,
bit.
you know?
Like your suffering is not as bad as us. When you're good, you're suffering. When you're,
and that's
when you're not
just,
good,
that's
you're
just going
suffering.
to
You
be
know,
for like a month or
you-
2 months.
Yeah.
You
Then
know,
they'll
like
kick you out again.
some-
Even if
sometimes-
you're staying long too, they will ask you to parents.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
you know, sometimes
And they'll use you very well in the house.
sometimes in this country you might even have like, let's say you might have like, before you make $100, that might take you like a whole day to make $100, and someone from back home can just message you, oh, I have a problem of this or that, and at the end of the day you'll be like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't have this or that. Be like, okay, if that's someone that is understandable, they might even tell you, okay. Then the next thing you hear, oh, that motherfucker is of no benefit, he's of no
You
use.
know what's even funny?
And
Most,
we're right.
Will you even get your money back?
most times,
You
it's
know-
like they don't even like call you like regular on the regular
check up on
basis.
you.
They'll just show up
You.
like, oh, they'll just say how
You
far,
know?
how you day, how Canada. Oh, bros, my pikin want to do this thing. No. Then
There wa-
when
there-
you don't say anything, they disappear for
There
another
was one
year.
that asked
Then when they need something, they
You
come
come
back.
back again.
Jenny,
You know?
And-
there was one that asked me, he technically wrote the three, can you just give me just $300? And I was working, I was like, yo, that's like my 2 days pay.
Oh, that's when you're not a big boy though. Like, that ain't 2 days pay.
That was during the summer. So I had my,
know?
I was working during the summer. I'm like, yo, that's like my 2 days pay. That's what someone wants to like just. I'm like,
And the thing is, the way they do the conversion rate for you, sometimes, trust me, if you don't know the exchange rate, just message one of them, they'll tell you the exchange rate straight up. They'll be like, oh, how much am I asking? It's just $50. It's just, I was like,
just.
come on. Like, for me to make $50,
And
Do
unfortunately
you know
too, they will not. If they were in your shoes, the way it is set up, you're on your own.
Yeah.
You know.
you know what?
Like,
I was gonna say that.
You know.
Trust me, if the table turns and they're on the other side of the table,
Yeah.
don't even think they will give a fuck about you.
And I think to
You
even make matters worse, the way this country is set up, having all those pressure from family, friends, random people you don't know, like your schooling, the government itself because of your bills, then in a case that you are stranded and you can't pay, now you now go to external loans because at the time when I came, there was no student loans. So you had, and
It's
I'm not
not
like to you.
everybody that gets students.
Yeah.
loan.
Yeah,
If
that's
you-
what I'm
if
saying.
you don't have the PR,
Yeah,
you don't get the student
Immigrant,
loan.
yeah, coming
So
on study
immigrant,
permit, yeah.
you don't have
You don't.
that.
And guess what? Now that was my story because it's crazy, right? I came every semester. I will not lie. Before God and man, I was always owing school first. I was always owing money from last semester, first day of school, right? I was always owing money, and I now went to go and do extra loan. I will actually say the name. I went to Fairstone, Canada. I'm coming for you. You need to speak, right? I went to go and do external loan, 8K to pay back 10K. They say pay 500 every month. Can you believe these people told me that paying 500 is minimum payment? I took this loan 2017, 2018. When in 2023, I'm still paying this loan.
Yeah,
I
because of
paid over
interest.
20K.
Interest.
I paid times 3 for 8K. I paid times 3.
It's interest now.
Funny enough, I had insurance on this thing, right? I had insurance on this thing. So when pandemic hit and I lost my job, I went on EI 1 year, right? And also my insurance kicked in. So
Right.
insurance paid for a year. They told me that with the EI of 500 in 2 weeks, I should have been paying. So I paid over 20K. And that is someone that did not have access to student loan. I'll not lie to you, they're part of my trauma. It's crazy. Like first on Canada, like I literally find out that I was like, I had to cut them off my bank. I had to pay like a final settlement pay, and I told them I'm not dropping any amount again. Carry it to your head office. Collection, yeah. But I collected 8 grand. And funny enough, my sister also did the same thing. So I was just like, I only listen to you. I feel bad for you. I feel bad for me. 8K. They collected times 3. That deposit for your house.
Interest.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
That
You know,
deposit for a house.
You know me, I'm not that kind of guy that fucks with credit card, you know. So I'm a finance student, but like trust me, like we go to school, we do the normal thing, but like I never understood the credit card whatever that deeply, because like I wasn't even giving a fuck about it. I was like, I won't need it, blah blah blah. But like you in this country, you never know. There are even some things that you have to use credit card for.
Yeah,
like,
you can build your credit while using credit
and you can
card.
So like there was this time I took a credit card. I used my credit card. It's not even like I don't have the money. I was just like, okay, the way you build your credit and all that shit. Then when I was about to pay my credit card, then the money is far more than what I used. I picked my phone, I called them. Hey, what's up? Like, why is they were like, oh, there's this for interest, there's that. I was like, are you kidding me? In a nutshell, what I'm just trying to say is, my brother, my sister, that you're out there planning to move to Canada, I'm not saying you shouldn't, but like also have a plan. There'll be a lot of people on social media saying, oh, don't come to Canada, this is code, is blah blah blah. For code, and people will also reply them, oh, so it's not good in Canada, why are you staying in Canada? Yeah, I'm in Canada because like I've determined to be in Canada and to go through all the struggles and stress. But don't think like you're just gonna come here and everything is going to be like rose
just
and flowers.
I tell my cousin was like,
make sure you have your shit all together.
My cousin asked me, she said, oh, she wants to relocate to Canada. I'm like, how much do you have in your bank account? You need to have money. Mm-hmm. You need to from the first day you are applying, you need to have money. You need to show proof of funds.
I was talking to one of my friends the other day. That one, she's like, oh, these are Jebota, Omulo and all those things. And then she was like, I was like, a lot of people are coming to this country now just for jackpotting. Then when they get here, they figure their shit out, Then she was like, oh, I remember when I was doing you need a proof of fund, whatever. Yeah. Then she was like, how do you not get a visa when you don't have that? I was like, oh, this is Nigeria, bro. They can prove anything, man. Mm-hmm. If you need them to prove 100 million naira for you now in an account, they will prove it for you. That's not an issue. Basically, but the issue is that the money they are proving, they don't have access to it or they don't own it. Okay, thank you so much, guys. We really appreciate. We did a wrap up for today on Bills and Billing. Thank you to the viewers. Tune in for more episodes. We'll see you next week. Boom, boom.